as a kid, or even before, my biggest fear was disappointing my parents, disappointing the people around me, and falling short of the expectations that they have of me or had of me. The other day, someone was asking me, Ugo, there's so much pressure on me. How do I get out of these expectations or this box that my family or my parents want me to be in? And how do I kind of free myself of that? And my first, if I'm going to be honest in this video, my first thing to say is just, there's two first steps. One, you have to make the decision that you want to break free of this. And two, you have to make the decision and understand that your life, your destiny, your happiness is actually in your hands. It's actually your control. At the end of the day, your parents and everyone around you, your failure and success is ultimately on your head. And the life you end up living, the person you end up marrying, the job you end up doing, how much you get paid, ultimately be yours to bear. That's the main person to bear that responsibility. If they push you into engineering, they push you into medicine, they push you into music. Ultimately, if one pays more, pays less, you're still going to be the person to deal with that. And in 50 years' time, in 20 years' time, it's actually too late to start being like, yo, dad, I did this because of you. And when you start to understand and once you've made that decision, then now at this point in time, it's about being low-key tactical and resourceful to get out of that situation. The truth of the matter is, for most of our parents, they're okay and decent in being parents. They're not okay in not being parents. They're not okay in letting go, not okay in letting their kids grow and be adults. Even in African context, you're pretty much almost a kid until you are married, especially for the girls. You know, they're not letting you, they're not letting you leave your house to 8 p.m. Be outside past 8 p.m. until you go to your husband's house. And those are little battles that everyone's fighting. But, you know, it starts from the mental aspect of you freeing yourself from those expectations and freeing yourself from what people expect of you. So I did say in the beginning of the video, my biggest fear honestly used to be disappointing my parents. Like my mom, like if they said that they're disappointed in me, that used to break me. That used to yeah, man, like to hear that they're disappointed, fam. Everything I'm doing is because of you, man. But now it's definitely not my biggest fear, to be honest. At this very point in time, no one could be more disappointed in me than I am on myself. If I'm not disappointed in me, then it's not a problem. It's actually your own to be disappointed. It actually doesn't matter to me. You can be disappointed. If I'm also disappointed, then cool. But if I'm not disappointed in what I did in terms of I made a decision and this is what I'm going to do, if I'm not disappointed, then it's really fine. And so the first thing you need to be doing is, yes, mentally, you need to start unchaining yourself. And then secondly, which is the hard part, is how do you navigate through your parents or through the people who have put this pressure on you to free yourself. And depending on your circumstances, you might have to move mad. I'm not going to lie to you. I just have to be honest. You know, rarely do parents, most situations, parents don't really give you, in some situations, but people that are probably watching this, parents don't sometimes give you the opportunity to be independent, to be an adult until the time when they expect you to be an adult already. Like, you're not an adult, but once you start earning money, now you're an adult, and they pick and choose for themselves where they are going to choose to treat you as an adult. If they want you to do something, then you're now a kid. If they want you to collaborate or contribute to something, then you can turn into an adult. But it's important for you to, at that point, start standing your ground, but stand your ground intelligently. Like, let's be honest, for some of you, your situations isn't that easy for you to just stand your ground anyhow. But for me, I saw it for a long way. So from like sixth form, I started, I've been independent from a kid, but you see when parents want to be, more as more in there, if that makes sense, in terms of making decisions for you. But it's about taking doing the little things for you to start taking that control back, whether it's just, you know, in terms of you being okay without me being out late. I'm not gonna lie, I stayed out 10 minutes later, you know, progressively, and you got used to me being 10 minutes late, and then you got used to me being half an hour late, and then you got used to me being an hour late, and then you got used to me being you know, small by thing, and then I start coming back early, because at that point I've pushed the boundaries. And the thing is that when it comes to you, you have to slowly, depending on your situation, you have to slowly push the boundaries in order to adjust in the way. Because if you go from 0 to 100 to try and like rip this off, you have to understand there's an inherent power dynamic that people are balancing. Whenever parents feel that they're losing their kids, or whenever people feel that they're losing the person that they used to be, you know, tell what to do, most of them panic that they're losing their kid, and they go ultra strict. They go and exert their dominance even more, and they go and start, you know, they just start moving mad. I've heard stories, and you know, I've been situations, whatever, but they start moving mad in order to regain the power that they feel that they're losing, because this is not what they're used to. So you have to stretch that boundary to the point where, you know, it is okay. Like, you doing what you want to do is almost a new normal, as opposed to what you were doing, and it's ultimately up to you to be able to make that shift. So it goes from mental, and whatever we think about and whatever we focus on, we start to manifest it. So, you know, obviously manage the way you do things, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna be an easy road. You're going to have to move mad at times. You're gonna have to ask questions at times, and a lot of the time you're gonna have to stand your ground to make it happen. But again, stand your ground in a sensible way. But sometimes you have to move mad, you move mad, and you just have to do what you got to do to get what you want. Because realistically, if you are waiting for somebody to come and give you your accolades, if you're waiting for somebody to come and just automatically give you the independence you're striving for, they're not going to give it to you. You have to kind of take it. You kind of have to display it. You kind of have to just go for it, you know. And you have to do that with most of your decisions, you know. Take some responsibility, go to them for counsel, go to them for advice, but don't let them inform every decision. And that's how you slowly break away from expectations, in terms of changing their role from being your decider of your decisions to just an advisor and a counsel to hear on. So in terms of breaking free of expectations, particularly in this context about like parents or family, it's a slow thing that you have to do. And not all of those things you're going to change their mind, but it's more of changing the way you receive it and how it actually goes out. So for me now, personally, not the biggest fear of my life. Biggest fear is, you know, I judge myself worse than anybody else can judge me. So if I'm not disappointed in myself, you can't really be more disappointed in me than I am of myself. But that was not always me, but that's who I am now. So, you know, taking back control of your decisions, your life, and the power dynamics that you're in. It's a slow process, not gonna lie. Most times if you go extreme and just start moving completely mad, sometimes it may work for you, but sometimes it depends on how it will really affect that relationship, if you really want to keep that relationship anymore. But yeah, expectations, make sure that you take control, and then a lot of the times you need to understand, again, what do you want? Is what they're asking for you what you want? And if it isn't, you know, do what you got to do. I know the younger you are, the harder it is, but hopefully you have people in your corner fighting for you. And if you are young, and you know, then you just have to, you know, the people you're talking about, you know, the people who place the expectations on you, you know your parents, you know this. How you do things is more important than what you're doing. So construct an argument, construct a way that you have to finesse the situation to work for yourself, because realistically, you gotta do what you gotta do, and ultimately, at some point in time, you have to be your own savior. So this is just a little ramble. In the future, we'll be talking a bit more meaty about how to break out of those expectations, but this is just like a little honest conversation that I'm having between me and yourself. So hit the like button, comment in terms of ways you feel to break out of expectations, or ways to get out of that situation, or society expectations, all that kind of stuff, so that anyone else who sees this video, whether it's in the comments or wherever, will gain from it. And me too, I might learn from it, because listen, on the shackles of my feet so I can praise, I just wanna praise him, Have a blessed day, guys. Wow, I need Vaseline.